Hey y'all, hey, it's me, February, your relationship and personal development coach. As always, I'm gonna jump right in, let you know who I am, which you already know, but everybody doesn't know me, right? So, I'm a relationship and personal development coach. The premise behind all my beliefs is that every relationship you're having is ultimately a reflection of one that you're having with yourself. And all relationships are merely barometers that show you your belief systems. You change your beliefs, you can change your relationships. Again, consider this your dressing room. I'm not selling anything, so there you have it. You don't have to buy it. You don't like it, you can leave it right here. It's just new thoughts and new perspectives, or maybe some things you already know. Just try it on. If you like it, keep it. So, if you saw the title is really something I was thinking about the other day. And there's one thing that we're doing when we initially meet people and start into relationships or even discussions that we should not be talking about within like the first 3 conversations. And most people are gonna be like, you're kidding me, right? And I'm gonna be like, nope, I'm not kidding. There's a conversation that we're having that we need to stop having when we first meet people. And it is, what do you do for a living, right? And people are like, what? Everybody asks that question, but let me tell you why. It's not a good question to ask within the first 3 conversations with a new person, because of what it actually causes in the relationship dynamic before it can even begin. So we're going to start with, you understand that I have this huge interest and belief that we have masculine and feminine energies, and women encapsulate more feminine, men more masculine, and of course we both have, either or and both at any given time. But what happens is, if you think about it, and I know it definitely happens with me, and anyone who knows me has even seen it happen, is that, so for instance, when you ask a woman what does she do for a living, when you ask her what she does for business, what happens is her energy changes and she kind of goes into boss mode, if you would, right? And what happens a lot of times, particularly if you haven't taken my course, The Secret Power of Women, I can tell you how to be in boss mode and still be very feminine in boss mode. But most of us are very masculine when we're in boss mode. And what happens is, when we're in boss mode, as I just said, we start to exude more masculine energy as women, because we're in work, we're in boss. And a lot of times, again, if you haven't taken my course, The Secret Power of Women, the boss energy is masculine. And we're going for it. So our whole entire energy changes when we're talking to this man, when he asks us, so what do you do for a living? It's like we posture up, right? And we start going at it, particularly if we're professionals. I've done it before. If we're professionals, doctors, lawyers, Indian chiefs, what have you, our whole entire energy changes. And that energy becomes more masculine as compared to softer and feminine. So when we go into boss mode, right, what's a man gonna do? He's gonna go into boss mode too, because that's what men do. That's what masculine energy does. Masculine energy actually competes. Not a bad thing, but that's the energy that's competitive. Is masculine. It's not feminine energy that's competitive. It's masculine. So if you're in boss mode and talking about what you do and how you do it and how you get down, he's going to talk about what he does and how he does it, how he gets down. It becomes a little bit of a pissing contest. So think about it, like, oh my God, you just created all this masculine energy and you don't even know each other yet. He hasn't got the opportunity to see the softer side of you. So if you've seen in my previous videos, I talk about feminine energy from a few little subtle archetypes. And one of those is the little girl. That's the playful, fun energy, right? The central seductress. And I always say, that's kind of, think of a belly dancer, kind of seducing and alluring. And then also there's the mother, which is the nurturing energy, and the caregiver, as well as then there's the queen. And the queen is sitting on the throne. She's the one that's in power. She's also the one, when I'm telling you about the secret power of women, that you take to business as compared to the king. But we're not talking about the secret power of women today, but those are some of the archetypes. So think about it, if you would. When you meet a man and you guys are talking and conversing, if you immediately go into boss mode, you've already set up this kind of competitive environment subconsciously, not even on purpose. You set up this environment where he doesn't get to see you, ladies, as a nurturer. He doesn't get to see you as fun and playful, right? Because you're in boss mode. He doesn't get to see some of your vision. I will say he gets to see a bit of that side of you. But he doesn't get to see the central seductress. Even though intellect can be very sexy, this type of sex is a bit more masculine. It's not the feminine allure of the belly dancer type of sensual, sexy, and alluring. So it really puts us in a position of bossing up and putting on our masculine energy. And remember, as I told you many times before, when we really want to engage one another, someone has to be in their feminine, someone has to be in their masculine. And oftentimes it works that women are in their feminine and men are in their masculine, so that there's a giver and a receiver, and there's a constant balance within the realm of the relationship. So it would behoove us, both men and women, I'll tell you some key points as to why it would behoove us, is that when you meet a woman and you say, so what do you do for a living? You're immediately putting her in her masculine. You're immediately putting her in boss mode. So I would humbly say, don't ask that question right away. Don't ask it. And if a woman asks it of you, I would say, again, on both ends, keep it very generic. It's not that you're trying to be elusive or evade the question. For instance, if you're a doctor or work in the healthcare industry, and then just say, you know what? It's just been a crazy week, and I'm definitely going to delve into that with you some other time. But right now, I just want to chill. So you're not avoiding their question or evading anything, but you're keeping the energy lighter. You're keeping the focus more on getting to know one another more organically. And guys, this keeps women out of your pockets if you're worried about that type of thing, depending on what you do. And ladies, this keeps you more in your feminine. Again, if someone asks you the question, ladies and men, just simply say your industry, and if they want to delve into it, with a big smile or what have you, I'm so willing to talk about that later. But oh my God, I just want to have a drink, or I just want to eat. I don't want to talk about business. It's been a crazy week, and most people understand that and respect that, because we work in America and we know weeks can be crazy, things have been going on. What you really want to do, especially as a woman, is allow him to see your playful side, your little girl. This is a perfect time to bring out your fun energy so that he can see that you're fun and interesting right away without the work part of it. Like, you are so multi-layered and so multifaceted. Allow him to see that fun little girl in you, the smiling, the laughing, because you're not talking about work. Do not talk about work within the first 3 conversations, not except for a very generic, I'm in this industry, just don't want to talk about it right now, it's been a crazy week. Whatever you have to do to kind of push that energy to the side, because you don't want to go into your masculine. You want to stay within the first 3 conversations in your feminine, in your little girl energy, in your fun and smiling. And it's kind of hard to do that when you're talking about work, right? So, and you also don't want to create that competitive environment I was just talking about. When you go into talking about what you do as a woman professionally, then he goes to what he does as a man professionally. You've now created a competitive situation. And remember, a woman is meant to be a complement, not a competition. So you really want to avoid that conversation in the beginning. Again, how do we do that? Stay very generic about what you do. Go into your little girl energy, the fun, the smiling, the playful even. Learn how to be a little bit more playful. We don't always have to be so serious, especially in the first 3 conversations. Thank you. I have lipstick on my teeth. Love you for that. I appreciate people who tell you got boogers in your nose and lipsticks on your teeth. Take it off. Thank you. So you really want to stay in the energy where you are playful and you don't take everything so serious and everything's not so personal. So stay away from that particular conversation about what you do for a living. Keep it light. How you can tell more about a person, there's some key things you can tell. If you're really trying to discern if a person is gainfully employed or not, if you care about that type of thing, there's things you can see. You can listen to how you talk about things about travel. Talk about the type of sports a person's interested in, the type of music a person's interested in, what type of family environment they're from. Really get to know this person organically without talking about what they do for a living. Another issue that comes up when a woman, particularly in a man, are talking about what a woman does for a living, what a man does for a living right away, he does not get the opportunity to see how, as a woman, you would be a nurturer to him. He sees that you're very busy, you have a lot going on. So if you're talking about work and then always talking about your kids and your family, what he sees is this woman's really busy, and does she have time to love on me. Let's be honest, this is a reciprocal type of relationship, and everybody wants something out of the relationship, and that's okay. And we want to be able to provide that. So a man oftentimes is looking for someone who's nurturing. Not that he has an issue with your career, and trust me, that conversation is going to come up and it's going to be really important, but it's not important in the first 3 conversations until you get to show other sides of you, that you show that you have this other energy, that you're playful. He knows he can have fun with you, that you know how to let your hair down, that you know how to just smile and relax, like just chill. Even more so, that you know how to be sensual and seductress and be alluring and fun and teasing. Like, he can see those things in you right away. But it's very difficult to see when we go into boss mode, because we're being very masculine. He likes to see that, hey, I can see that this lady, she's talking about other things. We start talking about your family, when you start talking about, your traveling experiences, we start talking about your friends. These types of things help people see your nurturing side, your catering side, your adventurous sides. These are the types of conversations you want to intrigue and pull a potential partner in very early on within the first 3 conversations. The first 3 conversations, again, ladies, keep it light, be fun, be playful. The conversation, if you just joined me, that you don't want to have when you first meet a man is, what do you do for a living? And you don't want to have that conversation because it puts you in a very masculine energy place, and you don't want to be the boss right here, right now with him. You want to be the person that he wants to take care of. You want to be the woman that he wants to pour into. You want to be the woman that he wants to nurture. And if you're in boss mode the moment he meets you, that does not invoke the energy of, I want to take care of you. That does not invoke the energy that I want to provide for you. That does not invoke the energy that he thinks that you would be nurturing and loving. It provokes the energy that, okay, we could make a power couple, she can make some money, she's a boss. But is that what you want? Do you want to be seen as the boss, or do you want to be seen also as a woman that is adored and taken care of and provided for, even when she can provide for herself? Because that conversation will come up, but you already want him drawn in, that you are the type of woman that he wants to provide for, that he wants to put his resources in, even when you have your own. And as things go down within the 4th and 5th conversation, he will be able to see that and see that you're not a gold digger. You're not just here trying to take advantage of him, but he's already been brought into and is desiring to get to know more of this the playful girl, the nurturing energy, and the queen and the seductress. He wants to know her because that's who he met. So do not, ladies, whatever you do not introduce a man to the boss when you first meet him. This is not playing dumb, because you don't have to be dumb to have a conversation about the world. Okay, about world issues, about your family, about your travel, about how you were brought. That's not a dumb person. I'm not asking you to play dumb. I'm saying put the boss to the side in the first 3 conversations, because you don't need a boss right now. You're trying to see who the hell he is and what he provides for you, and what you two can reciprocally provide for this relationship. And honestly, there can't be 2 heads. And if you want to be the head, then knock yourself out. You can do this. No, Marla, this is a very interesting thing. Again, I said within the first 3 conversations, you do not want to, in the first 3 conversations, be a boss. Because even if a man wants a woman that is a boss and it is capable, and they sit on the throne together, because most definitely we want to know them to know, I can sit on the throne right here with you. As I've said it to women many times before, the only woman that's behind a man is a woman that's been ran over. I'm beside you, boo. I'm right here beside you. I am not ever going to be behind you. I will always be beside you. But there has to be one head. And when I first meet you, I'm letting you know right here, right now, based on what I bring to the table, you are going to pour into me, because I am an open vessel. My body is made that way. You have the phallus, I have the womb. It is for you to pour into me, and I'm going to present that position for you very early on. I'm self-sufficient. I am not independent. I am not an island. I am a self-sufficient woman, because I'm an adult. There's a true difference between being independent and being self-sufficient. So if you want a man that is going to lead very early on, don't start the conversation with you and how well you can lead. Let him know 4th and 5 conversations. Oh, I can handle some things. You will not be left out here alone if something should go down. I can handle some things. However, it is your responsibility to lead. It is your responsibility to provide. My responsibility is to be a complement to that and to help us rise even higher. So that is, you have a head? Okay. So again, in your first 3 conversations, discuss everything except what you do for a living. When asked what you do for a living, keep it very generic. I work in the healthcare industry. I work in law. I work in food service. Whatever the case may be, wherever you are in those industries, keep them generic and just simply say, you know what, I've had a rough week. I don't want to talk about that right now. I want to talk about something fun. I want to talk about something interesting. You said, who made the concept of head? I think it's just kind of a generic term, but when we talk about this, I'm answering Molly's question if anyone doesn't know. When we talk about the generic term in the sense of someone has to be, if in the case of something goes down, who is going to be the final authority? It does not negate our level of intellect. As a matter of fact, the queen is the one with the vision. It is actually the queen that has the vision. When a woman comes in, she is the one who actually has the vision. So you always want to be with a woman as a man. For a woman who has a vision, she will always help to execute that. And she knows how to do it quite stealthily. But it's a woman that executes the vision, not a man. He may do the physical work for that, but she's actually oftentimes the one who puts it into action. So it is not that we are less than or better than. It is that we are equal to, and we are each bringing a strong component to the relationship. We are yin and yang. We are masculine and feminine, and we have to learn to be a complement to one another as compared to so competitive. Just because he's the head don't mean I'm not the neck. I know how it turns, boo. So you have to understand that we're in this thing together as compared to separate, and allow him to have his place and for me to have my place. When ultimately it's really about where our positions are. It is not as for us to be relegated to any particular place. It is more about positioning. And I talked about this in one of my previous videos, that if you look at, say, a basketball game, everyone cannot play the same position in order for us to win the game. We have to play the game strategically, and everyone has to have an appropriate position for us to actually win. If we're all over the place, we're not going to win the game, and we have to start to look at it that way. So what? Okay, got it. Patriarchy's biggest supporter. You are a mess. So we have to learn to really look at the type of energy that we're putting out there and how we can best play our positions so that we are getting what we need, as is our partners getting what they need. And again, this is a reciprocal relationship. It is important and necessary that we learn and become a complement to one another. That we stop trying to have these competitive relationships that do not serve us at all. And so again, as a woman, I know for myself personally, and so many women I talk to, I want to be taken care of. I want to be provided for. I'm talking about from a soul level perspective, not just tangibly, but from a soul level perspective. And I also know that men want the same, but it is not to be done in the same way, because I am a feminine energy and he is a masculine energy. And so we do things differently, but we still provide very similar things for one another. And that's what we have to get back to in order for us to stop these competitive relationships, that we can have more intimate and loving relationships. So again, I would behoove you to say, when you first meet someone, as a recap, as a woman, do not discuss what you do for a living grandly. Just keep it very generic, keep it very simple. I work in healthcare, I work in this industry, and allow other sides of you as a woman to shine through. And then as you go down, he's already captivated by who this woman is and all these other amazing characteristics. And when you come up as boss mode, he is already bought into that this woman is also a compliment to me as a man. She's not a competition to me as a man, because again, when you go into boss mode, when you first meet him, then he goes into boss mode, and then all the thing that happens is you two are now competing with one another as compared to figure out how you can complement each other outside of just making money. So that's my spiel for today, guys. I appreciate you. I love you. I thank you for joining me. And I really appreciate the questions. Anytime you guys want to have a dialogue on here with me, I'm not just doing all the talking, please, by all means, chime in. If you like it, share. Share. If you want to have any questions for me, if you want to ever just talk to me, if you want to do any of my coaching courses, please feel free to DM me. I have a few things coming up, some coaching packages coming up really soon. We're currently putting up the new website for the coaching practices. Again, if you know, I already have several websites. One is jumaree.com, the other is februaryhassan.com. You can always reach me on any of my social media platforms. Everything's February Hassan, so IG, Facebook, YouTube. And anytime you miss any of my videos, you want to catch them, they're not on Facebook anymore, you can always chime in on YouTube. I upload them on YouTube. Again, real power always lies within, without power. So, peace out. Thank you. Thank you for joining me. Bye.